happening, everyone? Welcome to Thursday night's Airbrush Down and Dirty Tricks. We are 1 minute late, but we're good. Well, I'm 1 minute late. The video started on time. Let's see how everyone is doing. Make sure we got a sound. I think we got sound check. Looks good. On your end, hopefully the audio is clear. Let me know how the audio is. Video is good. We will get this thing started. We are recording. We are set. We are ready. We got a few guys in the house over on the tube of you on the YouTube, and a few people over on Facebook. And let's get this thing started. Everyone's starting to come in. Good. Mike Stanton, thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. Astral, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Big Squatchy, what's happening? James Collier over on Facebook. Well, says he's the only one over on Facebook. Typical Facebook. Donna, what's happening? Donna, we are getting close. This time next week, I will be probably still in the air. But, no, I'll be there. I'll be there by this time next week. We are going to be doing our class at Maple Airbrush Supply. It is officially sold out, from what I'm told. If there's any last minute, Donna has to decide if there's any more room. I don't know if there is. I think we were capped. So, but if you still want to go and you need to go, maybe there's arrangements, or you can get on a wait list in case anyone cancels. But I'm very stoked to have the first class in a couple years sold out, and really looking forward to the project. I got the project all worked out. I actually got to paint it this week. Well, tomorrow and over the weekend, so I have an example. But the design's badass. It's all done. I don't want to fully share it. I've teased it. It is going to involve since it's going to be May the 4th, so we're going to go to Star Wars theme, and I had this guy, so we are going to base it off of this. A lot of cool tricks in this. So we're not going to use a lot of plotter in this. We're going to do a lot of freehand, hand-cut paper mask, with a little bit of plotted elements just in there, but we'll talk about both ways to do it. And everyone in class, I think Donna is printing them, and everyone who comes is going to get one of these bad boys. And maybe if we have time during the program, we'll see if we can break out some paint and paint it as well. So these are going to be cool. It's going to be cool because it'll be a nice reference for people who are learning to paint to be able to look at lighting as they go. So it'll be super cool. Warlock, what's happening? Mr. Manning. Awesome, awesome, awesome. John Tornay, what's going on, brother man? Hope all is well with you and the family and business. And yeah, let's get some shindig started. Let's talk about what we're doing this evening. Oh, and before I do that, I want to check in. Most of them are here. We got a lot of Down and Dirty Tricksters in the house. A lot of you guys support the channel. I know I've been off every other week or so, not getting on, but there's been so much going on. That's coming to an end once I get past my class next week. Summertime's a lot slower on the motorcycle end, which I'm going to be able to do a lot of content, a lot of really cool stuff. There's going to be a lot of members-only content we're going to do. We're going to get some tech this summer, like Adobe Illustrator and stuff like that. That's definitely coming. And a lot of other stuff I have planned. So I want to thank all my amazing members. Thank you for the support on the channel. We're staying pretty consistent. We're still floating just under 60. I want to grow that to 100, but I know on my end I need to do a better job of adding more content for you guys, and that is coming. So that's going to be great. Do you think, we got Warlock's got a question here. Do you think you offer that as a tutorial to follow along? It's very possible. Usually when I do something in a live class, my personal kind of rule is usually a 3 to 6 month cooldown before it would be released to like people who didn't attend the class. Because I think it's only fair people who spend the money to attend the class reap the major benefits. And typically what I'll do in that circumstances, if I do like an accompanying how-to video or something to go with it, I'll see people who took the class will get another first crack at it or something like that. So I usually figure it out. But I'll probably do something along those lines. you know, I tend not to do download stuff if it's going to be a intellectual property of someone else's, but we'll see what we can figure out. Michael, hey, oh, yes, fancy seeing you here. Yes, right, I'm back. Yes, nice blue light background. Yeah, we got the blue light special going on. That I gotta mess with the background more. I need to get this a little brighter and a little tweaked and just some more stuff back there. Yeah, at some point, background's coming. But yeah, all right. Joe Woodward's going on, man. Thanks for popping in. Porfy. And yeah, so 27 here. So what I wanted to do tonight, I didn't want to go too crazy because I know next week I will be off next week because I'll be traveling. I'll be in Edmonton doing the class, and you know, I'll give a quick shout out. This is the info on the class, but it is officially sold out. It's capped off. But if a spot or two opens up, talk with Donna. You can get on a wait list if you're still interested in taking it. And we do have a special guest instructor that's going to be helping us, which is going to be amazing. I wish I had his artwork here. Oh, I do have his artwork. I'll give you a little hint of who it's going to be. I'm super stoked because we haven't hung out in a while. And he's probably the most overqualified assistant one could ever ask for or have. This is the man who's coming. I'm going to be up in his neck of the woods teaching, and he has honored me with his presence to come help. So he is going to be the assistant, and I'm super stoked. I'm not sure he's going to be there the whole time, but he's going to be there. And we're going to try to line something up too, maybe for the Friday night hangout. People aren't taking the class. If you live in the Edmonton area and want to swing by and hang out, we're going to see if we can set something up, so stay tuned on that, and we will get something figured out. All right, I think that's all the general business, aside from, you know, we have to show some love to our sponsors and materials we use here in the program, from Fisheye, Filtered and Water, Createx, and all them goodies. FBS and the Visionaire. What else? I think that's good. Discounts, yeah, we still got that for all our members. All members who get 15% off if you are a Down Dirty Trickster. And with all that being said, let's get into the basic kind of tutorial. And the reason why I wanted to do this week is part of the project I'm doing next week is I always try to do freedom in the program. Like, I have a couple fixed objects that have to be in, or I have like this one has a fixed object. Then it has a couple elements where you can mix and match whichever way you want to go. It's kind of like Miss Potato Head. You can pull different elements in as far as these silhouettes. And then we're going to do different background colors and textures. And with that, you know, I want people to put their own elemental kind of look into the background of the painting and color and tone. Createx has given us almost a full rack of everything we need for colors. So I wanted to do something where this person, if you want to do lightning in the background, you want to do fire, you want to do smoke, you want to do like really aggressive fire, you want to do whatever you want to do in the background. I wanted to do kind of a brief example of that here. So maybe people who are taking the class next week, you can kind of follow along ahead of time. You can practice, get your bearings, and maybe feel what you're comfortable with. Because I'm going to have you choose like 2 of 4 or 5 elements you could do with it. I think it's just going to make the piece pop. So this is kind of a precursor to that. And it'll be a nice recording. I can get all the footage and we can use this in some how-tos. And I just noticed we got a big old super chat from Michael Cohen. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Thank you for all the support. We got Michael, Steve Leahy, my Fallout buddy. Fallout has officially taken over our lives again. Every year, a couple years, I get back into Fallout, and I got back into it, and then the show came out. Now it's getting even crazier, and yeah. So if anyone here is a Fallout junkie, let us know. I'm on probably every day for at least an hour here and there. So let's switch over to what we're doing. Super source, come in here, boom, there we go. All right, what we haven't seen Fallout. Yeah, the show's great. So Fallout's been around for a long time. Fallout's been a game since, Steve, I think it was mid-90s, right? 96, 98 or somewhere around there, the first Fallout came out, and then, you know, there's been subsequent games and many versions and takes on it ever since. And then past couple years is Fallout 4, then Fallout 76, now the TV show. So it's got a resurgence, and I've always been one of those games I'll like put down, and then I'll come back to it like 2 years later and just keep playing. It's one of those endless games. Yeah, Warlock, I think it was mid to late 90s, if I remember right. I have the original Fallout 1 disc. It's still somewhere in that disc. Somewhere. All right, so let's talk about our reference material. This is what I decided to do. So I took a 12 by 18 panel. I put it into 3 sections, so it's basically 6 by 12. So if you guys are following along, it's a black panel. I divided it by 3s, so I have 3 6-inch by 12-inch areas roughly. Obviously smaller. Fallout was 97, yeah, 97. And so I figured we'd do 3 quick panels. And the reason I did this too is I did a painting the other day, did a bike the other day with a Rolling Stones logo. I don't have a picture of it. And the customer just wanted the Rolling Stones logo and some lettering. It just kind of looked out of place. Just in the tag, it looked like a sticker. And I was just like, man, we got to do something. And the bike was dark blue metallic. It had the blue Harley badges. But then everything else was in like reds and stuff for the Stones logo. And we got to do something in here. And it needs a background element. So we ended up going with the lightning on the front of the bike. And then down the bike and tying in there on the logo. And said, start me up. And it just worked. And it just kind of got me into that. You know, having a couple background elements in your arsenal is key. All right. And there's a lot you can do. There's a lot of different... there's a lot of different things you can do. You can do, you know, obviously fire, multiple colors. We're not going to do full color fire today. We're going to do like a whitish blue fire because you can do green, reds, pinks, whatever. Fire is also, you know, a main one. Space, stars, that's another one. Lightning, what I did in this bike recently, I'm going to do the first one today. Lightning's a big one. Smoke. All those are great. Then you have like water bubbles and like ethereal kind of wispy stuff. There's all sorts of stuff you can do for backgrounds that just helps tie a painting together. What it's also good for, if you're doing a motorcycle and the guy's got a limited budget and they have an image here and an image here, and it just looks like you put a sticker here and a sticker here, and it's kind of cool. You need a way to tie them together, and you can make a bike look really complicated. Like they did a lot of work to it for little effort. So like with this lightning bike, the main images were on the front and rear fender, but the rest of it, it's just lightning. And it's really just prep and then clear the part. The lightning itself, as you're going to see now, takes a very short time on a small part. So this is a side cover. You're doing a side cover in less than 15 minutes. So you can do a whole bike and make the bike look like it's got something without a lot of work. So that's why background elements and little tricks and things like this are great to learn. And they're easy and they're hard because there's always room for improvement. You can always mess with them. You can always mess them up. But you can play with it many different ways and really get a different look to it. So let's talk about the lightning first, and I'll show you a couple quick examples that we've done. So like on the Star Wars one that me and Rhino did years back, this is similar to what we're doing next week, but it's going to be much grander. See how that's got the smoke on this side, and then it's got the smoky, you know, the fiery on this side. They're kind of different. They're just background elements. Then you have that center glow, the texture. It's very quick to add a lot of impact, just so it's not a floating logo and a floating mask. Another good example was this one. I think I did a video on this. So this is 2 different color lightning on a very simple eagle. So again, you take a simple eagle on the side of a fairing or side of a gas tank, and this is the main detail type you spend all the time on. And then you just lightning the bike, and you can go down the tank, the side cover, the saddlebags, and that's it. The guy doesn't have to, like, you don't have to spend, you know, if the guy doesn't have another couple $1,000s for a bunch of artwork all over the bike, but he still wants to be painting the bike, or you've already changed the color, well, you know, you can throw another $500 into the job by throwing lightning all over it. You know, it's a really good way to just add stuff in. So, you know, that's why I think background elements like this is so important. So, what I've done for colors, for those who follow along, and I'll add these afterward, I did a regular Wicked Opaque white. This is going to be my strongest white. For lightning, I always do like a very, I do my lightning, you know, like a bluish purple tone typically. So I always do like a very thin white. This is an illustration white mixed with a little cerulean blue. I have a cerulean blue here, which is going to be the kind of glow color, and we'll talk about that. And then the rest of it, I made like a darker bluish purple. We'll use that in the fire, maybe a little bit in this one. And then for the smoke, I did a very thin illustration gray with white with just a little black in it. And then a candy black, because I like the candy black for the smoke. And that's what we'll use in here for colors. Crafton's custom paint, what's happening, man? Donna's here. Honey's in the house. JC. JC, I was gone today. Took me a second. I'm like, what are they talking about? I'm like, oh, JC. All right. Lightning goes really quick, so I'm going to just do a quick little. Got this, just the back side of this panel. Yeah, that's filthy. That's a dirty panel. All right. So, I'm trying to behave to the. So, with lightning, let's talk about. I'm going to use kind of the thinnish blue white, and then I'll bring the stronger stuff in. With lightning, what I like to do with lightning is I like to have some. Ooh, that's really thin. That's too thin. We're not using that one. Let's go to the Wicked White, and we'll just add a tint of blue to it. There we go. Because that is not bright enough. So what I like to do with mine is I like to do like straight lines that I kind of move quick. You got to have your paint just right or you start getting little blowouts here. So you have it thick enough or you pressure. And you just want to get it to the edge of a blowout almost, and you get these nice flood strokes. And I kind of zigzag. This is very similar to doing cracks and stuff like that. What I don't like doing this really a lot. Like you see a lot of like this stuff with lightning. You can figure the way you want it. I highly recommend looking at some photo reference. Just kind of like almost like a planned chaos. It's very similar to fire in certain ways. And I typically map out my fire like this. Or I'll do like this. I'll keep it really wide loose. And I'll kind of paint the glow ahead of time. I don't do this often because I typically, now I'm locked in. And then I'll come back through and I'll hit it. And if you look how I moved, it's a lot of jerky kind of start and stop, but always moving. I'm never stopping, because if you stop, you get blowouts like this, okay? And if you get a blowout like that, you can always kind of make it work and make it a big glow area. And so what I usually like to do, I like to have my lightning, like the first couple stages are going to be pretty big and kind of bold. Sometimes when you go back over it 2 or 3 times or twice and get it really kind of bold, okay? Different sizes, change your distance. Like that by itself is too thick, but that's going to be a big lightning bolt. And then I'm going to candy it down and we're going to wash it down. And then I'll come back in and you'll see when you see in the final, I'll do a skinnier one down the middle. And then I'll kind of thin it down. And now here, usually before I do the first round of candy, I'll put these just little mini kind of lightning charges around. Okay, so that way when I candy, it just becomes a little, the background of the background. It just goes distance. I wanted to show this really kind of quick on the back. So with this one, let's add a little fun element into it. You know, I can't just paint nothing. Let's add a little skull element into it. Might as well show you kind of how to do that. Actually, before I do that, because I don't want just a floating skull. Let's do. See how the reference has those clouds? I'm just going to take a detail General Mendez effect, and I'm going to hold it about a 1/4 inch off the surface. And just kind of do like the cloud edge of where the lighting is coming from. Super simple, and that's just by holding it up like this and spraying through it and letting it not be too. You don't want it directly on the surface. That kind of helps give you that, gives you that glow. See, clouds. Hey, happy little clouds. Alright, and that's, just getting my bearings. Except this is really quick. Now I'm going to take this guy. Let's just put it like right there. Alright, just simple. I'm going to leave that here. We'll do bright eyes in there. Just enough where you can take it off. It can come out of the mouth. And you almost don't even see it, okay? But it's there. Hello, Robin. My sister Robin's over on Facebook. Thank you for popping in. Richard, Mr. Sorrow. Thank you for popping in as well. Sorry, who I teach at Greater Lowell Tech. Every year we teach the kids. He brings me in. It's always a good time. Alright, so, I got this kind of flowing here. A little bit going on. Alright, I want to get that big bolt. And this is where you practice your flood strokes and you really want to commit. It's a great freehand example. But you got to commit to it and you got to move. You can't, I'm going to stutter because I'm a stutterer. But you can't stutter or stammer when you do this. Gary She's the man. Bam. Thank you, my friend. That is much appreciated. So when you do this, you got to commit. Okay? So get your practice. You have a practice panel off to the side. And kind of make sure your paint's flowing the way you want it. Because you can't really go back. You're going to come in here. We're going to come right from the center. And boom. Just kind of let it happen. That's the main trunk. Okay? Let's give it another one. Don't think too much. Think too much, things go awry. Okay, that's my big one. That's my main one. So I'm going to beef that up a little bit. So I'm going to go a little thicker. Okay. Honey, you guys are awesome tonight. I know it's been a week or two, and I've been off and haven't been as committed as I should be. Just we talked about it at the beginning of the feed if you missed it, but once I get back from Canada, we're getting back on track. We're gonna start doing a lot of member stuff, and got a lot planned. So this is kind of where I start doing like the smaller kind of branches, and we can have like maybe there's another one coming from here. That's off camera. It's the clouds from over here. Just maybe a little cloud. Nothing much. And then just keep working. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to get this a big glow. Big glow here. There's going to be some more. Say it touched this cloud. I like doing this. Like this lightning bolt came down. It hit another cloud. You didn't really see that cloud, but it came out from underneath it. There's a big explosion there. And if you're not a super freehand guy or girl, this is going to help you develop it, actually. Because you're doing these like flood strokes and you're controlling, and if it gets a little out of whack, it's not a big deal. You know, so it just makes it, it's a good way to practice kind of brush control, freehand control. Yeah, you guys are on fire tonight. Thank you, Michael. Michael, much appreciated. Thank you for that super chat. You guys are generous tonight. Alright, so see now what I'm doing is I'm setting up this glow for the background card, because what I'm going to do now is that it's a push-pull, okay? There's a lot of push-pull when it comes to lightning. It's same with fire. All these elements all have similar things. They're all about, you know, working it, pushing and pulling it, and getting it to work and get that end result. There's a push-pull, and you can overdo it really fast. You can make it too busy. So remember, just like we talk about fire, we talk about other things, you can always add more, okay? So start with your plan, and then after you start getting some color, you go, oh, you know, it needs a little over here, it needs a little over here, and work it to how you need it. Don't just like cover the whole thing and just go too nuts. You want to really work it, you know, let it just happen. Let it just come. Let's see, I'm invisible, that's why they call me ghosts. Thanks, John, appreciate that. Alright, so I'm going to take my cerulean blue here. This is an illustration blue. It's not a candy. You can use candies. I talk about this a lot. I don't use a lot of candies with this stuff. It's not really necessary, maybe sometimes at the end. So this is a nice cerulean blue. And just like when I do fire, that's why I say this is really good practice for fire, I paint most of it in the darker areas. So if you see where I'm putting the paint, I'm putting it in the middle. And then I'm letting it work its way in. Let me just go a little bit here. Then I can kiss over the whole thing a little bit. Need a little more glow. Just needs a glow. Maybe you like to do big glows at these major cross points. Remember, less is more. Just let it come. Build it slowly. This is a really quick project. Remember, you can always add more. So if you take a lot of it away, not a big deal. Now I'm going to take this darker blue, which probably won't read too well on camera. We'll see. Ever watched it? Hey Cliff, thanks for popping in over the Facebook side. Yeah, usually over on the YouTube channel. The YouTube quality, the feed's better, typically better over on YouTube, and more people kind of get the notifications for it. So. I mainly keep Facebook running because I have a lot of family who uses it, and some older friends that aren't on YouTube, so we keep it running. Hey Mayor, what's happening? And let it dry, and starting to be cool. It looks a little meh right now, but actually that kind of delineation is good. You really can't. It's really hard to mess this up. That's right. Yeah, like, share, subscribe. Please do, people. Please do. Now, the other thing I want to say, lightning bolts. Yeah, graveyard, wizards. It's just good filler, man. Like backgrounds for anything. Inside lettering. Advertisement stuff. Lightning works good. The nice thing is, once you get good at lightning, doing like granite cracks and like foundations or just stone cracks, it's kind of the same thing, just with black and white instead of, you know, bright colors. So, and that's why I call these background elements, because usually this is like filler. You know, it's not like when we do the fire here, we're going to do the fire quick as filler fire, not that we're going to do a whole realistic fire across a whole truck, and that's the element is the fire. That's a slightly different approach to how you have to handle it. This is background work. This is how to accent stuff. It's trying to put a little life to something. All right. So now I come back in, and I try not to trace it. I try to go like in the middle of it, and I get a little shakier and a little thinner. And I don't always trace exactly over it. Sometimes I go out of it like I did here. Okay. Kind of weave it around. Like I said, sometimes stay in it. And if you're really not comfortable freehand here, which I promise you, the more you do this lightning, the better you get it freehand, because you learn how to kind of push it. You could use a brush. You could take a brush here and just work it with a brush. You are very welcome with the live videos. I appreciate everyone coming in and checking them out. So let's see here. I'll just do that. You don't have to trace every part of it. You can get some really heavy hits there. The other thing you can do is you can do the scary trigger pull, and you can just cover. You can almost do like a spinning, like a bunch of little sparks happen right there. Happy little lightning, baby. That's right. Now I'm going to come out of here. I'm going to come right out that mouth. You got to make the sound effect. Everyone as kids, man, used to draw like battleships and lightning, and you're always like... Is my preferred color black? Yeah, it's usually like a blue to purple. Those are usually my favorite tones to do them in. I've done them in reds. I've done them in golds, in yellows. But my favorite to do it in is like a blue tone. I just feel it's the most natural way to do it. But see how now that skull, just super simple. I didn't paint a skull. It's just a great way to use a stencil and have a stencil look work for you, because it's just a silhouette. So watch, I'll get that eye really bright. And I'm just going to freehand out a little bit of the eyes. You can kind of go around the edge and rim light it with some freehand. That puts a little detail in the skull. Super simple. No green. You know, I don't think I've ever done a green lightning. Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever done it. So let's see here. Let's get a little whiter here. So we're going to hit some bright spots. Hit some bright spots. This is the one thing you're probably not going to notice it as much tonight, just because it's one of those, the fire really just pops when you candy it. But I think you'll get the point. Sound effects, you paint lightning bolts. Yeah, I wish I had like some sound effects. Oh, like a great example. I wish I could pull up fast on my. I wonder if I can find it. See if I can find it on my. I did a bike a while ago, a Frankenstein bike. Oh, here's a. Let me I'm gonna pop into this and just kind of go through my slideshow really quick, so I can find it. Come on. Oh yeah. Sorry. Guess that's not going to be as easy as I thought because this file is too big. Yeah, sorry. There's a blue Hayabusa in here that I keep. Oh yeah. See, even that had a kind of a fire with the lightning added through it. Just a little element that worked. That's a cool one. Final card. A little blue fire and lightning, underwater bubble, space. Yeah, that's got the lightning and the fire in it. Yeah. Yeah, fire. I was trying to find the Frankenstein bike. Oh, this was a cool one. This is a truck I did many, many years ago, just talking about. That's old. That's my old truck. We'll edit this out later. This was a big dually I did, and we actually fabricated the grill. I don't really ever get here in the slideshow right here. So, yeah, we fabricated all the skulls, the side, the gambler. Each skull is an air intake for the Whipple charger and superchargers. Yeah, that was a fun one. Anywho, sorry about that detraction. Oh, neon lights, yeah, neon. Actually, Steve Leahy's got a great video on that. Neon's very similar to this. Is basically you got to get the glow color, and because the neon inside is pretty much white in most colors, and it's the glow that's the color. Except on traditional red neon, but red neon is very orangey yellow in the middle. It's never red, but the glow is an orangey red, but the beam itself. I could do a neon at some point. Actually, one of the first paint jobs I did on a guy's motorcycle was like, it was a lightning bolt, like almost like a flash lightning bolt that was made as a neon tube on the side of the bike. It was the early 90s, might have been the late 80s. Okay, so yeah, so we're doing this, you're getting that out. Remember, this is still a little bit of a blue color in here, okay? And then I go back to the same blue. Yeah, Steve, you have the, I remember you did a neon. Is that still on your YouTube channel, or is that an old Facebook one? That neon tube one you did. If you have it handy, feel free to post a link to that video. So now I come in with this blue, and we get the outer side darker. Now we kiss over everything. So you notice what's happening is now we're starting to get multiple blue tones, right? More than just one. We're getting like 2 or 3 blue tones. We can make it really dark down here. Up in here. Up in here. Up in here. What? I didn't say that. We can take a little circle template here for the eyes. Let's just darken under that eye with a blue candy and let it pop. Oh, this blue. Let the white kind of pop out a little bit. Pretty sure it was Facebook. Yeah, yeah. That'd be a cool one. Steve did an excellent job on that one. Airbrush Asylum should definitely have a neon how-to. And what's cool is if you watch, I'll do one too. If you watch Steve's approach, my approach, and Asylum, we're all going to have slightly different ways of getting to the end result. And that's what's awesome about custom paint. Because you can all have your own variation on how to get there. So that's why I've never been there's only one answer. There's only one way to do shit. It drives me crazy when people do that. I need to figure out what works for you. Alright. What I'm going to do now, just quick, put a few drops of black in it. So I'll give this skull a little attention. And I'm just going to hit some little details and maybe darken it in here. And again, these would be hard to see, but it tends to shape everything out. Gives you just a little delineation, and then we'll come in with the final. The final tone. And that kind of gives you the basics right there. Pretty simple. Doesn't take a lot. You can obviously do different tones. The cerulean blue, you could do like a transparent kind of aquamarine blue, which is similar to the reference material. If I was using House of Color, I would use probably Oriental blue, because it's got that kind of almost like a sea foamy, like a sea color. Oh, so I'm going to give it a tone. I'm just going to kiss over everything. Just, you know, lightning's one of those things. Just, you got to play around with it and you'll find what you like, the way you like to do it. Now we'll go in for the final kill, because look, this is still blue. Okay? Going to get rid of that. Yeah, these are Createx colors. So this is, I'm using the Wicked Opaque colors and the Wicked colors. And then my blue, that's for the whites, like the solids. And then my blue and dark bluish purple, my red violet color, that is an illustration color. They act kind of like a candy without having to go through a full candy mix. And then I have the candy black, which I'll be using in the smoke in the next lesson. There is my... I need a little bit more red violet in that color. Alright. Like I said, if you're into brushwork, you can definitely add some brushwork into here. So now I'm going to go with the pure white. And this is where I'll hit, like, right top of the eyes. See how that white just popped because I haven't used a pure white yet? Just keep it to the end. And then you got in there. I'm going to go, let's see how this looks. I'll do a little top down. You can kind of see a little better. I'll focus over here. So watch, so you get this kind of blue tone here. Now if I come out of here like this, with that white, now it really pops, and I take the pure white and come out. And hit that bright spot. Like that's where it's coming from. Let me get it over here. Now you have that energy spot. See how just by making that bright, that's your source. And your source should always be the brightest part, okay? Because if you look at a reference, you'll see that the source is really the brightest area, okay? And you want to kind of stick with that. So if I want to do that a little bit more here, a little bit more here, a little bit more here, coming down. Remember, keep distance. Keep distance. Now you have that. There's your fire source. You can even, if I want to keep this eye a little brighter towards the bottom, I can. And then just maybe give it like a pop. All right. Yeah, so you could do that and have it pop through and just, you can do little ones, then come down here, get some bright spots. And just start having fun with it. When you start doing this on like a whole bike, it starts getting really cool. And this is a quick job. Like, this is, you know, you could give a customer something really cool looking in a few hours if they don't have a big budget. Because, you know, materials are getting so expensive these days. Some of your clients, you know, if they got to change the color, they're already in for so much. A little spit there. You know, you can really give them a lot for their money, or what seems like a lot of work, and it didn't really take too long. And just really mess around with it. Like I said, I want to get that blue. And if it gets too bright, just, look, just cut it back. See that? Had a little too much, cut it way back. Make the noises while you do it, yeah. And just have fun with it. And really, that's kind of it. You can even watch. I'll do another little kiss over here, and then I'm just gonna do a bunch of little, like little sparks coming out. And I'll just rim highlight, just edge highlight everything. Cool. Simple, fun, quick, easy. Let it happen. Look, I'm going to put some spits down there. Something happened. Craig Fraser used to do some really sick ones out of clouds. Then when it hit water, it would like explode in the water. He had a really cool look to doing those. And that's it. Simple, easy peasy, lightning. I'm going to say that again just because I want to be able to record this and edit it later. Like I said, simple, easy, lightning, done quick. Practice it. You can do it all different ways. Squiggles, long, bright, dim, color, multicolor, like purples to blues, reds to oranges. You can do fire colors. Play around with it. It's really going to teach you a lot of freehand. It's going to teach you how far you can push your paint. Like you can slow down and just get to the edge of a blowout when you keep it in line. You know, how thin, air pressure differences, blow different colors and fades. You could really have a lot of fun with this project. It's one of my favorite things to paint, actually. On like dark color surfaces, it just works out great. It's easy. You learn a lot and you don't have to be like. It's not like fire, where fire gets so technical that, you know, it's hard to make it look good. Especially, it takes a while. Lightning, man, once you get a few things down, a couple times you do it, you're just going to love the way it looks, and you're going to want to put lightning on everything. And lightning, like I said, leads to the cracked granites. Then you start doing clouds. All that stuff starts helping that muscle control in your hand and that muscle memory and how that airbrush and paint works and everything. And then you graduate to kind of smoke and fire. Because the smoke we're going to do in the next lesson, and that's easy and hard because it's very subtle. You don't have the mistake of letting blowouts happen. It has to be kind of more controlled and soft. So we're going to go something that's really hard and just whatever to a little bit more control. So we'll talk about that in the next lesson. And that's coming right up. All right. Let's see. We get back to here. All right, that worked out. That was pretty fun. Everyone like that? I'm not complaining. This is the season. Starting to see business up. You know what's funny? Up here in New England, this is where we start going down. This is a slower season. Because we have such a long winter, most of the bikes and bigger projects and money projects get done from like November till now. And then we get such a short ride season, everyone wants to be out. So like June, July, August are the 3 slowest months for me as far as motorcycle and client work. So every market is different. I know like Arizona, New Mexico, it's so hot, no one really rides in the summer. It's too damn hot. So their summer is their winter, you know. So yeah, it's different up here. All right, I think that's good. I think that's cool. So now what I did, because these are all the same sizes, I should be able to pull this off. I'm going to do the smoke in there. We'll keep this side clean. We'll come back to that later. We'll have a nice, cool triple how-to panel on here. All right, smoke. Let's bring up the reference. All right, this smoke image, there's a whole ton of, there's a lot of royalty-free smoke you can get online. This I found on a royalty-free site. I forget which one. So I had tomorrow. Oh yeah, South Carolina is different, man. The Carolinas are different, especially on bikes. Man, a lot of helmets. People love getting the helmets painted down there. It's a huge market, unlike up here. All right, so smoke. Let's talk about smoke a little bit. You know what? I am going to flip this over like I did before. And just to mess around, and this is a good way to practice. This is just a little isopropyl alcohol. And we'll just use this as a kind of a test subject. George Weldon, what's happening, man? Cheers, everyone. Okie dokie. Smoke, smoke, smoke. All right, I have a couple different images here. Pro tip number 1. When you get an image of smoke, don't print that image. Don't print that image. You will blow through your black ink faster than anything. You don't need it. It's just you're using it. If you need it for reference, you can print one. But when I'm going to use this for cutting stencils, basically out of it. Don't print it black and white. Go into Photoshop, any program you have, click on the image, and most of them, I know in Adobe, it is image adjustment invert. Okay, so what's black becomes white. What's white becomes black. Now you get this for the smoke. Whoops. Wrong one. You get this for the smoke. Much easier. Much less black ink used, for one. And you know, it's easier to cut a template out of if you're going to cut a template. Okay, and this is where smoke is different than fire. So that's why I'm going to do smoke first, then we're going to do fire. You can use stencils like this, make your own, work off some smoke reference for more realistic looks. Some templates that work good are Michael Casey's Matchmaker templates. And you can also use the fire templates. Just when you use fire, you're kind of going a motion that's like fast. With smoke, you want a more of a side-to-side kind of rolling flow. So you want to use more of like the curvy cues and things like that with these stencils. The one thing you'll notice about smoke, we'll talk about the difference between smoke and fire. And let me do it with just the white. So when I do fire, we usually do stuff like this, right? We do a flood stroke and it gets kind of gnarly. And we do this kind of, you know, glow and stuff like this. You know, this is basic fire. And we're going to talk about loose to tight and everything else. So this is, you know, just see that rough, raw kind of shape with the sparks and flood strokes. You know, very chaotic. That's fire. Okay, we're going to do that in the next lesson after this. But this is more about subtlety. So what you got to do is when you're doing smoke, I make sure my paint's a lot thinner, a lot softer, and I slow down a lot more when I do this stuff. So let me get that worked out. So basically I mixed up a little very thin gray here. I've double strained it to make sure it's really good, and it should flow. See how this is a little bit grainy? When you spray this one, it's a lot softer. You can almost see it go wet and then dry out. See that? That's kind of what I want. I might even thin this down a little bit more, make it a little bit more transparent. Okay, so smoke should almost, whereas fire does like chaos, smoke should be more flowing. And the one thing about smoke, typically when you do it, you almost have two sides to it. So you almost have like the inside and the outside, so you almost like double it up. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I do this one. You kind of find an edge, and you double it up like that, so it's like a brighter. You just get a much more twist to it and roll. I'm being really quick here. Let's see. So if you're using a template like Mike's, you know, for something big, you're going to come in here like this, right? And it's going to roll. And then you almost can either like space it so you have a double, or you'd want the positive negative of each stencil to use. So you can come in and kind of make that. You can sharpen that edge out like this. And see, that's a much more smokier wisp to everything. Okay, it's just a difference of flow. Okay, so soft, transparent, no flood strokes, no blowouts. Smoke should be very soft and easy, and keeping it really simple. You can obviously work from templates and just kind of mix and match and do your own. For this one, I figured it'd be nice to work from a photo, and just so we can kind of see. So let's do this guy. Oh, I didn't make this. Grr. They were supposed to be the same size. Anyhow. Doesn't matter. Alright, let me pull up here and show you what I mean. So if you're working from a photo reference, And you gotta use this as a cut. I gotta find... What do we all lose? Oh, X-Acto knife. Alright. First things first. I'm not gonna worry about this piece here. I'm gonna worry about this. So what I'm gonna do? I'm really just gonna copy this. Keep it smooth. Okay. I'll just do one. So now look, the cool thing is I have positive and negative, okay? Let's do this one too. Alright. So look, now if I have this, I'm just going to tape it just to be clean. On this, barely sprayed a thing. I don't even think, but it's there. Okay? See how subtle that is? You don't need to do much. Because remember, you can always add more. Okay? So you don't need a lot. And then what I usually like to do, because I still want it to, I don't want it to be super hard. I'm going to give it that edge, but I'm going to take the other side off. But it's going to double up. And it's going to give me that edge without, like, really, man, my words aren't really coming out the way I want. See, by doubling it up, you get that nice, soft, transparent see-through. And if I do it again, and I'm not following exactly, watch, I'll do this other side. And there it is. Now you get that almost, that smoke wisping through. Like, this is a very more technical way to do it. I don't often paint like this, but I kind of want to show you working from photo, like a way to do it. You kind of come in freehand. See how you're really starting to get that look? And with working with photos, then you can come in with like a loose shield like this. And you can add your own kind of look to it. You know what I mean? And just do it how you want to do it. It doesn't have to follow the photo. Oh, look, I'm going to come out here. So if I come out here and then I did this freehand, now I'm going to put it on this edge and double it up. I'm going to get that nice roll. Okay. Fold this back. Okay. Yo. Very, very simple. Very clean. Let's go into here. Because what I really want to do is I want to hit see this little curl here? I want to hit this curl. This curl is cool. Actually, I could probably hit that curl with Pocket Graphics. Ding! Pocket Graphics. So watch, I'm going to come here. I'm going to roll off this one. Roll that over. I could probably hit it in there. See what I mean? You're kind of following that flow, what's already there. Working from it. But it's really about keeping things soft and kind of having that secondary outline. But see what this does right here? That's the key. What I find to smoke is what works. Is just having that kind of roll. We can even come back up here. Do that overlap. It's just really subtle. The only thing about this, what I'm going to tell you, is you got to be really ginger with this stuff. Like you can scratch it off really simple. So be very careful about that. You don't want to be doing any heavy wiping or anything like that. With a model car, I give you a ton of advice, but it's a million different directions you could go. So basically, you got to kind of narrow it down to a theme. Like, I want hot rod flames, or I want it to be like the lightning. Lightning's a cool one to do. Or I want to do like just a nice, clean two-tone livery design. Narrow it down. I'd be happy to give you some advice on how to pull it off, but you got to narrow the field down just a wee bit more. But I'd be happy to help you. Okay, so, you can keep going. Just keep it really simple and keep it subtle. Now, this is just the first pass. I haven't finished. Because I really want to just kind of do that middle section. Yeah, two-tone, nice stripe. Maybe a race number on it, race letters. Killer. Simple, easy. Okay, so watch this. I'm going to come here now. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to roll this back. I'm going to find where it was. There it is. That's it. You can actually roll that from there. Or you can pull it off. You can give it that double edge if you want. But it's just a kiss. Now let's see if we can get this one. Remember, when you look at this photo reference, what's black is white. Because I inverted the colors. So I can come in like this. And just go super subtle. Now you can go like this. I can pull this out here. And then this one. It's kind of basically going to go like this. Just like freehand through everything. You got to use a mix. Okay, so see, super simple. This is where I tone it with the candy black. Okay, Alan Pastrana, what's happening to my brother? Now, Alan's someone who can do smoke amazingly. And his fire has a super clean, crisp, almost smoke-like movement to it that's amazingly clean. So, definitely recommend looking at his work. Alright, so, now again, this was a gray. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking the black candy. I clean my airbrush out here. And again, this is going to be really subtle. It's funny, when you do fire, you like, but when I do fire, I go in there like really fast, hardcore, a lot of damage strokes, a lot of just destructive kind of shapes. When you do smoke, it's got to be really soft. Do I do my lighter color first? I can't answer that for you right now during the live. It depends on the colors. It depends on the graphic style. Feel free to message me on Facebook or Instagram, or do a quick sketch of what you're doing, and then then I can kind of give you a hand from there. All right, so black candy. This is very thin. What I like about black candy... Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, what I like about doing smoke is doing that roll, okay? And what I found, the key to that roll is having that bright outline. So basically doubling up those edges. This should be super thin, and I'm just going to use it watch, to tone things out. See that? And, if you have... You can carve out of it if you want. Like if I want to carve that in, I can carve that detail a little bit harder. The key really is to have positive and negative of your stencils. I don't know if he still makes it. I'll have to ask him. I meant to call him to see if he still made them. Jonathan Pantaleone made a great smoke stencil years back, called like the octopus or something like that. I forget what it was. Amazing curve shapes. I'll have to message and see if he still makes them, and if he does, I'll see if I can put a link to it in the description. So look, so I can come here to the edge, and I can kind of cut in just a little bit, and I can darken it, and I can kind of pull that edge back out. So basically, you take the black candy, go around everything. Remember, everything, you can see smoke, you can see through everything. So it's just a matter of kind of toning things down, and you can kind of, erase things out. And then, ooh, a smoke ring. This might not work, but let's, never done one. Let's see if we can, we'll do a couple. We just keep them really loose. And kind of let it wiggle. Like I said, never done one until you just asked it. First time for everything. Live. See what happens. Go back in, maybe cut a little bit of it back out. I'm going to just kiss a little bit here. Now we're going to go back to that. A lot of times what I would do now is, because I used a gray, I would use pure white. That's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a transparent pure white. I'm going to take a very little bit of illustration white, or illustration, yeah, it was regular white. We'll do a little 40-50. like probably a 30% mix. The reducer is going to be really, really thin. Maybe a little too thin. And then what do we do with our paint, especially when we're in the crucial thing? We strain it. So I got my little paint strainer here. Actually, like I said, I got one of those strainers that Gerald got. The super, super fine ones. Dude, those things are killer. Like these strainers work great. But if you want to get something that's like really dialed in, that works. That stuff, those work really good. It takes forever to strain through it because it's so fine. It's like almost like distilling your paint. Okay. So now we're gonna hit the edge with pure white. And that pure white is going to be that little bit brighter than what we have. Kind of roll in with freehand. Whoops. Mess that up. Check your stencils, kids, before you paint. And now I'm just going to go in with pure whites and stencils and just freehand and just tighten things up. Maybe I'll hit these smoke rings again. You know, the other thing you can do if you have like these stencils, like I said, these the matchmakers. Where's the last one? This one's great. So from here, watch, I'm going to go over here. And just kind of let it mimic over. And just get a couple bright white areas. And just keep messing around with it till you're really happy. I mean, it's really just about just finding a more of a kind of a silky flow. This is something I want to this was kind of impromptu. I kind of want to do this with a little bit more. This can be really expanded on. So I can come off here and like make a nice glow. Go down here, make a nice glow. Like it's almost like a funnel cloud going in. And see how little things like that just really wake it up. And just kind of mess with it. Find your shape. Find the way you want to do it. It's really fun to do. But it takes some doing. It takes some practice. It takes some push and pull. I've never taught it. I don't paint it much. So this was kind of flying by the seat of my pants a bit. But I think I pulled it off a little bit. So that goes there like this, yeah. We will do a future basic, like a lot more to do with this, or more simple and easier to follow. But I just kind of want to give you a show on, like, you went with a really harsh, you know, quick, dirty way to do it. You could actually, if you wanted to, like if you're making a panel, you know, you could kiss over with a little candy blue as well and give it a little tint. Everything with smoke is just subtle. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to cover this up in a sec once it's dry. And basically we're going to mix the hard edge here, soft here, and what you've been practicing, this kind of discipline you just went in, and you're going to mix the two together to get kind of a fire look here. And like I said, this isn't going to be how to do a realistic fire. This isn't how to do a realistic fire perfectly. This is more of a single color blue fire, white fire, green, yellow, whatever you want to do. It still follows the same loose to tight rules. We'll get into that. But you'll see the difference between, it kind of marries the two together, the soft smokiness here and that harsh lightning with that flood stroke. Once you kind of master those, or you get comfortable with flood strokes and hard lines and kind of burying that color, and like notice where I put the smoke, not the smoke, on the lightning, I painted the blue on the outside of the glow and let the center stay. That's big key in fire, so we're going to talk about that a lot. These are great precursors to get comfortable with this. When you go into fire, you'll have no problem with it. So next lesson, I'm going to mask this off and we will get over to that one. All right, let's get ready to go. Alright, kids. Need to get going. Mr. Leahy, got a long day tomorrow. Man, nice to gone through. Snacks out of. Thank you, sir. Good chatting earlier. I know where you're going. I know what you're doing. What time we got here? 9:30. Ooh, 9:30. Alright, can we pull off? We're going to try to pull off a quick fire demo. Yeah, I got to get up early in the morning. I got 6 yards of dirt coming in the morning. That's going to be awesome. All right. Now let's throw everything together. Throw everything together to do kind of fire. All right. Yeah, so if you notice, I should have left this up, and I never left the reference up. You need that bluish gray kind of tone with the smoke, and then those bright white edges really sings it. I'm gonna do a more in-depth smoke one, like dedicate an hour video to it and really do a nice edit with it. So that's coming. If you guys like it, if you guys want to see a bigger, more expanded. Sometimes doing it live and just going by seat my pants isn't the best thing for really subtle work like that. But I can do it on edit. It'd be a lot better. Thanks for popping in live, man. Thanks for catching it. All right. So, the fire. We're going to do like a blue fire, because this panel's all done in blues. So basically, I'm going to take like an opaque blue. And what are the rules of fire, guys? Call your RC construction friends. They can make. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not painting. Not doing anything that fun with the dirt. We are shoring up the back of the property on the back side of the pool It's a lot of runoff over the past few years. So we're doing like step down. These things are called dirt lockers. Like 100 of them. So that's going to be the fill. Alright. Fire, fire, fire. Alright, so we did the lightning, right? There's a lot of like hard strokes like this, right? Okay, that's kind of what you do when you're doing fire. When I do my sketch, it's tight, but it's also loose. So I'm confusing it. Let's talk about it. The fire itself is like very, you kind of loosen your body and get your shape of where it's going. And then I take kind of a stencil and I'll hit like very loose glow. Okay, to like what direction the fire is going to go. And it's loose because I'm keeping my wrist loose and the paint glow is loose, okay? Like I'm letting the overspray just kind of get a glow to it. You can do a little flood there, see? That lightning flood stroke, and then I kind of come in soft. Yeah, it's kind of fiery. I don't love it, but you're not supposed to love it right now. Keep it loose. Don't stress over it. You don't want it too noodly here. We've talked about the do's and don'ts in the fire do's and don'ts. You're really just trying to get that glow, that step. Because what happens, whatever you do out here, you never really go past it at this point. This is your shape. This is your body. You stay within it. Okay? You stay within. Can't stress it enough. Especially when you're doing real fire. But notice, there's dark and light still. It's not just blow one tone. It's not all spaghetti stringy. And there's some back and forth and wiggle. It's a little stringy going up, but I got enough movement where I can mess with it on the next go around. So. Nope. Just finding which brush has the blue in it. Okay. So now I'm taking that blue. And where am I going to paint the darker candyish blue, like the wash of blue? Am I going over the brightest areas, or am I going towards the darker areas and letting the overspray get in? That's right, I stay out here in the dark areas. And what this is doing, especially on a car, this is helping me blend into the base color, back into the black base color or whatever it is. And let me control any of this loose, chalky overspray. Because if you leave this chalky overspray out here, what's going to happen, you go to tack rag it down and wipe it down, you're going to see scratches. Okay? So what you want to do is you want to do your opaque, and then you want to lock that down with a little bit of loose wet candy, especially out here in these darker areas. That gets rid of that chalky overspray. And when you go to wipe it down, you won't get scratches. But notice where I'm putting it. So I'm not putting it in here in the brightest area. I'm putting it here where it's kind of the darkest already, and I'm pushing that back on the first pass, and then I'm kind of washing over. Same thing. There, there, there. Yeah, exactly. The darker areas to the mid. And that way I'm still leaving my brights. I'm still hitting them. But it's not like getting crazy coverage. You could also, because I have that darker purple. This isn't the candy purple like metallic. This is just a dark. That can be out here. as well. Just keep it dark. And if you hate something, you know, you can use like the positive edge of something or the negative edge and like carve a hole back into the fire. Yeah, but yeah, I don't worry about this stuff right now because that's too tight. You know, that's being too tight. Okay, so like I said, it's pretty dark right now. But that dark is set up for the next color to go inside. So remember, from here on out, very, very sparely do I ever go outside this area. If I decide to put a spark out here, I gotta add a little dark blue and then white again. Okay? Because everything should kind of be inside it. So what I'm going to do now, this was a pretty bright, this was a pretty dark color. I'm going to lighten that up for this next round. So now I'm going to get a little tighter. And I'm going to zigzag a little bit back the other way. Okay, see that? But I'm within the fire that I already created. I can enhance some of it. So I'm using a little bit more stencil, but not much. Still a lot of flood. Little control of chaos. We'll do some spits down here. And now I can be a little bit like more strategic. I can start carving a little more. Like I like this. Whoops. Show you what I like here. I like that curve. I'm going to enhance him out a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to let that. See how you get this one here, then this, and then this. Now you get that transparency to it. Really simple. I love what's going on right here, but it's a little less defined. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to connect it. Soft connection, and I'm going to do a little bit of a kind of a roll up inside here. That I deal with that smoke. And that's probably going to be best with something like this. Yeah, really kind of simple and clean. Don't overthink it. Just kind of let it happen. It does. So it's kind of like you're building smoke. Yeah, but I'm harsher about it. So I'm faster, more flood stroke, more sharp angles. Smoke and fire are very similar, just smoke is very subtle and soft. The fire, you have to get a lot of aggressive movement and chaos. But they're pretty much the same. So look, I kind of like where that is. I don't think it needs to go too much more. So see how here I did that, like I went outside my line? It's too white. Now it's whiter than this, so I'm going to have to make sure I hit it with that blue again. But I need to use the lighter, make sure I use the lighter blue. Because right now this is that dark blue. More violent, exactly. Fire is more violent than the smoke. The smoke we're doing needs to be very subtle and smooth. Yeah, Mike, I still watch that every once in a while, just because I love the little guy. Miss him dearly. He just came up on his passing. So now, what am I going to do? Same thing. Also, I think it has more. Yeah, so it's more vertical movements. So it's, yeah, so on something that's going up, the smoke more rolls up. Fire gets more aggressive straight up. If you go on the side of the car, it'll be similar where smoke would roll down, whereas a fire would like abrupt and be really, jagged. So now this is where I'm using less candy. I'm really staying in the darker areas. See this? It's really subtle. And I'm just letting the blue kind of kiss over it. Kind of reshape a little bit, but I'm not killing it. So now basically I have like 3 blue tones going on here. And this is where the push-pull kind of starts to happen. This is where it's still loose, but it's much tighter. So you notice how much tighter the second pass is than the first. And the darker blue is on the outer, everything is in. I've followed a few guys who struggle with this. They still want to put the lighter color way on the outside. This dark blue purple out here stays dark blue, and then all your brighter colors are inside of it. Because that's when you look at fire, the cooler the color, the darker it is. The hotter the fire, the brighter it is. And it's always kind of set that way. Okay, so now it's blue. Back to the fire. But I got to get it whiter, so this was the kind of first one. It's pretty dark. Then this is the second one. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to wipe out what's in there. Mike's a great guy, man. I was fortunate to get really close. We were really good friends. We toured together on a bunch of different events. We did SEMA a couple times together, and we did the Airbrush Rendezvous. We roomed together a few times. He's a good close guy, good friend. Oh, I just dumped my white on the floor. Pause, please. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, so this is where you would tack rag. Okay, it's a good question because you're starting to get a little chalky here. Okay, but you make sure it's after the candy. So I don't have. Do I have? No, I don't. So if you don't have a tack rag handy, paper towel, very light, or with water-based, I use House Colors KC10 wax and grease remover, and that gets everything loose. But see, all that loose stuff coming off, that was just floating. And if you keep leaving that, eventually you're gonna have it's gonna look like gritty sandpaper. So, Michael, great question. That's exactly where you do it. Okay, so now I'm doing a bluish white. Oh, yeah, I did the same thing, slowing down fire. So now, I'm not doing anything new at this point, really. I'm shaping with what's there, like I like him. I'm going to glow that out, maybe get a little sharper inside it. and just kind of just work that. Oh yeah, yeah. The rendezvous are a great time. Mike had a blast. See, I'm just working with what's there. Like, I love this one. Coming down off that edge. We can do a couple little sparks in there. A couple little floods. Make sure it's a little brighter towards the bottom. We'll get that glow. Oops. And just stay within, and then you get that nice realistic kind of fire with that curl. And just, you know, you eventually develop your own style. Sometimes your mood changes, your fire changes. Sometimes you push it again and you're like, oh, let me go back for one more color. I'm going to carve that out, tone it. Then this is where I would take a purple pearl, and I don't know if I have any iridescent. Let me see if I have any iridescent purple here, because this is about the time I mix it in. Oh, here we go. Yep. All right. This is the new Wicked Pearl Electric Purple. These are the new pearls. These are awesome, man. These cover amazing. And for the first time, I thought that when these lay down, they sparkle like an automotive, a true, you know, nice automotive pearl color. Whereas a lot of water-based before, I always found they kind of, the pearl floated to the top a lot more. And you ended up like with a different kind of sparkle than you would normally see on water-based. That you wouldn't notice it on solvent. Water would like, it's like the flake would float to the top. But these new ones, and I never really loved it, but these new ones, spray awesome. That's a pearl. And this is where I spray the pearl. Here, here, out here, all on the outskirts, and maybe I do a couple of freehand wiggles. Because you're only going to see them when the sun hits it. And I'm not even sure. Let's see. You can, oh yeah, you can just start to see that purple sparkle. And just on the outside edge, just a little in there, a little here, a little here. And then if you find that's a little too strong, don't be afraid to go back in and put a little candy blue back over that sparkle. Kind of tone it back out. Remember, fire is a push-pull. You get to the 90% point, and then you just kind of refine it. Spend some time making it look good. Because if we go back and look at the clock, I think this piece took like 3 minutes, like 15 minutes. I'll put a little blue back over that purple. I want to get rid of the sparkle. Then come in, and that's kind of it. If I want brighter white, I can come in here. Oh, when the top coat goes over this, yeah, it's going to be awesome. Get some sparks. Whoops. I'm going to blow that out. No problem. right. Hour and 45 minutes. Not too shabby. We did lightning, we did smoke, we did fire. You can kind of see the differences. My fire has some smoky elements. I think I went a little too aggressive on this, and I think in doing it live and trying to show over and over again, I got a little repetitive, and that's why I got a little harsher than I wanted. I definitely want to do, if you guys are interested, a more in-depth video on just smoke and really slow it down and really refine it and talk about it. Because I did too much out here too. So, but I think you guys get the drift of background elements. For those of you guys taking my class next week up in Edmonton, that workshop is going to include your choice of elements and colors and things like that. So if you guys are looking to practice stuff, practice some of this stuff before next week's class, and yeah, that's really about it. That was going down the side of a car. That's it's a really nice flow. If this was smoke, it'd be going a different direction on the side of a car. But yeah, I think Demetrius, oh yeah, I've watched slow motion fire, taken screenshots of it, and did a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, but the more you want to smoke, same thing. Break it down. I think, like I said, I'll definitely do that. I'll definitely do a smoke video that's more in depth. And maybe part of that video will be I'll record some smoke animation and some fire animation and just kind of show the differences and pick out why smoke works the way it works. What makes it work, what doesn't work. And then we'll go from there. Thanks, Mike. I want to thank everyone for the super chats tonight. It was great. I want to thank, again, all my members who make this possible and help out and contribute. The more members I got, the more time I can spend pre-planning stuff. So thank you. Can't thank you enough. And for all you guys, you do get 15% off the stores. Oops. That was last week's reference. Oops. And, yeah. Thank you all for popping in on this Thursday night. It is 10 of 10. I am going to clean this place up and go get some rest. I got a big weekend, and then I will see everyone can next week. I won't be doing a live feed next week because I'll be traveling on Thursday. If I can manage to pull one off Wednesday, I'll see if I can pull one off. But I will definitely be doing some video from the class. Maybe I'll do a tour of Maple. And maybe I'll do a little, maybe members only will do a little bit of in class, just use my iPhone and do some streaming from in class and just show what it's all about. So, yeah, 15%. It used to be 10. We went up to 15, and every once in a while it does 20. So, I usually announce it. So, thank you everyone for popping in tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I got all this recorded so I can edit this down. The smoke one, I'm not super happy with. I'm happy enough with it, but I'm not super happy with it. We're going to make that into a great video soon. And I will definitely end my Facebook feed. Thank you, Gary. And I will see you guys from Canada, and I will see everyone after that. Have an awesome time. Thank you all for sticking with me. And I got a lot more videos coming up, and after this, yeah, we got a lot of stuff that's going to happen this summer. So stay tuned, subscribe, like, share, tell all your friends, and message me. Let me know what you guys want to see. Sometimes I get midweek, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to paint. I have no ideas. I might not do it. I might... probably just smoke rings. Yeah, I might not do it right away, but I make the list, and it helps. So definitely share some suggestions online with me in the private group for members, because you can go into the community tab. Message me there, and we'll get some stuff going. So Have a good one, guys. See ya.